Meanwhile, in Cascade County, we're still getting in those final numbers. Just a few moments ago, got another round of ballot numbers and confirmation for who will be the next sheriff of Cascade County.
Jesse Slaughter defeated current Sheriff Bob Edwards back in the Democratic primary in June and faces Republican Bob Rosipal. Rosipal started with the sheriff's office as a deputy back in '92, working his way up to lieutenant. Slaughter is a detective with the Great Falls Police Department with nearly 2 decades of law enforcement experience. We take a look at the latest numbers. This is with about 90% of the votes counted. We are told Slaughter just over 17,000 votes, 53%. Bob Rosipal with a little over 15,000 votes at 47%.
As we said, officials in Cascade County still at the Montana Expo Park counting those ballots, getting in those final numbers.
And that's where we find MTN's Elizabeth Transu right now. Elizabeth, what's the scene look like down there tonight?
Hey Shannon and Tim, yeah, they are still counting down here. Now officials, polls closed at 8 o'clock yesterday, but that doesn't mean that people weren't still voting. I mean, some people were here till even 8:30 last night, still casting their vote. At that time is when officials were able to start counting all those ballots. Now, let me take a step aside so you can see where all the magic happens back here. Now, to the left is all the precincts that are already accounted for. Those boxes are filled to the brim with ballots, and then to the right is that beautiful machine that is counting all of them right now, and they have very limited or a very little pile left. And if you think it's been a long night hanging out waiting for those numbers to come in, just imagine how long it's been for them here. I mean, they're going on nearly 21 hours of counting here for those elections in Cascade County. It sure has been a long 21 hours. Now we've called some of the big races, but we're still going to hang out and wait for those last ballots to be counted until we could officially call the local elections here in Cascade County. Now, talking to election officials, they've said that they've seen the most people come out for this election than they've ever seen in years past before. Sending it back to you guys, but I'm live in Great Falls. Elizabeth Transu, MTN News.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. I want to point out Elizabeth has been there about checking in about 7 times. She's been awake for most of the last 21 hours too, so we thank her for her work. Yes.